Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jack and Joe Show live. And we're live because, Jack, we are in an actual semi final, and the draw is about to get underway in about 15 minutes' time. How are you feeling? We obviously saw each other yesterday, and we've had a bit of time for the dust to settle, the confetti to settle after a wonderful night. How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, like pretty nervous because obviously it's been ramped up now that Liverpool have got through. Liverpool winning by 5-1 against a West Ham team who I texted my friend and I said, "What's going on with West Ham tonight?" Apparently, they just look like they weren't asked. They were not trying. But Joe, before the draw gets underway, let's talk Fulham versus Everton because it's going to be old news in about 15 minutes because we're going to be talking about the semi-final. It was we've been to a lot of you've been to a lot of the games away from home,
Yeah,
as have I. Where does it rank for you?
it's right up there. It's right up there. And Jack, just before we get into it, I've just realised that we need to give a quick shout to our sponsor, Green King Sport. And another reason to shout them out is we were in a Green King pub last night, Jack, the Arkles in Liverpool,
What a pub.
right near the events that have just finished at Anfield. Fantastic pub, fantastic occasion, and fantastic for Green King Sport to sponsor Fulhamish for the entire season. We are very, very grateful. We'll leave all the usual details in the description. You can download their app to get a discount. That will still continue, and you can watch any upcoming games live at a Green King Sport pub. The next televised Fulham game will, of course, be we obviously are live on Amazon Prime, but in terms of on Sky or TNT, we're live on Sky on New Year's Eve against Arsenal in what is going to be a very, very interesting game.
Yeah.
There's some other good games coming up, Jack, but I think the priority right now is when are those Sky fixtures for us going to be announced for the semi-finals?
They're guaranteed to be on Sky, aren't they? Both of them.
Yeah.
Just to recap, it's Middlesbrough, Chelsea, Liverpool, Fulham in the final four. Two huge clubs in Fulham and Middlesbrough, and two not so big clubs in, of course, Liverpool and Chelsea. I'm really actually starting to feel a bit sick and actually quite nervous.
Fantastic.
By the way, the Arkles was brilliant. Double gin lemonade for £5. It's like unbelievable value. Less than a pint in the pub. Joe, let's just talk goals because that was really all that happened. Robinson cross put in by Michael Keane. Literally about to walk down for a pint, and we sort of stopped as we were on the attack, and it went in. I don't know if you're watching the coverage right now, Joe.
I'm not. I'm actually going to be fully reliant on you for.
I was going to be reliant on you because I wasn't going to watch it.
Fantastic.
We're here now.
Okay.
Anyway, yes, Robinson's goal. Thoughts on it? Great hold-up play by Rodrigo Muniz.
Great hold-up play. I can see my sister has just commented that she's watching in the pub in Liverpool, so it's good to see that she's left in the last 24 hours as opposed to stay there the entire time. We had a wonderful night, Jack, and yeah, I mean, the goal from Robinson almost came out of nothing. We had about 5 minutes of slight pressure, which sort of kicked off with that Willian free kick, which went just wide. And, we didn't, not too much happened in the first half, as you say. I think it was quite a cagey game. I thought we defended really well, which didn't offer much going forward. So it was great to get that goal. They came back at us a little bit second half. They didn't cause too many problems. And it's a bit of an unfortunate deflection that sort of looped it up for Beto for their equaliser, who I have to say, I turned to my dad, and when Calvert-Lewin was getting subbed off, although I didn't think he had a very good game, I was not aged fantastically, but I was quite relieved to see him going off just because I'm more scared of him than Beto. Beto was fantastic in comparison with Calvert-Lewin when he came on, caused way more issues in terms of hold-up play and just a presence in the box, because Tosin had an absolutely amazing game, even before you get to the penalty shootout. Jack, the penalty shootout. I mean, I think it took years off my life, which will not be worth it if we don't win the cup, which will be worth it if we do win the cup.
Viva El Fulham.
Viva El Fulham. I mean, the Goodison Park guy on the speaker seemed to have thought they'd already won it with his array of pre-penalty songs that he was playing.
Yeah, this was honestly
the Street end.
This is something that I wanted to bring up because I was speaking about it with Matthew on the way home or at the time. Not only did they win the toss to shoot first down the Gladys Street end, they played all their songs and got well up for it. And I was like, the advantage. I know, obviously, you're at home, you do
and
it.
also the last
advantage
minute goal
was
as well.
so-
The momentum was all with them. Everything was
exactly.
with them.
And then, of course, we can go by each penalty individually, but Bobby De Cordova-Reid steps up. It's a bad penalty. Like, it's a bad penalty. Not as bad as Onana's, of course, but every penalty Pickford almost got to. They were good penalties, but Pickford almost got to them. But the Bobby Reid penalty just seemed too predictable of where he was going. Same with Tom Kearney. He made it very, because Tom Kearney has this Huddersfield away and Norwich away when he had those two penalties. The stance he takes makes it very obvious where he's going. But though on those two occasions he put it the other way and just set the keeper the wrong way. Whereas this one he literally just indicates where he's going, and Pickford almost gets down to it. But Joe, it doesn't matter. We're sitting in a semi-final. And by the way, Everton fans who were rattled before the game are really rattled after it as well. I've had a few run-ins with some Everton fans today. Just take your L. It's not that deep. I mean, I suppose it is quite deep, but I can't believe how rattled they are by little old Fulham. Talk to me about Bobby Reid penalty, when it missed, how you were feeling, because I won't lie, I began to walk out the ground on my way
Fantastic.
out before Onana even stepped up.
Crap penalty, crap run up, crap placement, and then Pickford was off his line anyway. I mean, don't get me wrong.
He was off his line, yeah.
Leno was off his line for the Onana one, but to be honest, I think that I would have had time to run on the pitch from the opposite end and stop it crossing the line because it was that slow. So it didn't really make much of a difference. But Pickford was doing my head in with those antics. Can you believe that out of the antics that both goalkeepers showed, that Leno was somehow the one that got booked? That is quite funny. I think he was pointing at James Garner's penalty, which wasn't on the spot, according to him. We couldn't see, obviously. When Bobby Reid missed that penalty, I've got to be honest, completely thought that was it. 100%. Of course, not only because of Onana stepping up to win it for them, but I just thought that Pickford was getting close to all the penalties, and I thought that he'd save the next one as well. Vinicius very calmly, sent him the wrong way, which was fantastic, and credit to him. Jack, it was just consider how bad we've been at penalties in recent years. Now we've won 2 shootouts, and the way that we won that shootout, I think, showed, for lack of a better phrase, balls of steel. Absolutely. That they stepped up and they made it count, and the celebrations afterwards were absolutely fantastic. A night that I will never ever forget as long as I live. I absolutely loved every second of it, from the moment my train pulled in, other than the chippy being closed for obvious reasons.
That was bad.
But I'll tell you what, the substitute chippy was not too bad indeed. It was a bit like a Rodrigo Muniz start instead of Jimenez, because it was not too shabby. It did the job. And obviously you got some scraps on that as well.
Sansom, thank you for changing my life with those curry chips. They were unbelievable.
And thank you very much to the restaurant for providing forks as well. That was very kind of you.
Thanks, Andy, for taking the chips away when I was just not finished with them.
Wonderful.
Anyway, let's get back to the proceedings.
Jack, from the coverage, how far off are we from the draw, do you reckon?
Well, it's Jamie Redknapp and his dad just having a little chin wag, really, in the studio.
We're quite some time away from the draw then.
Well, they did say 10:15.
Okay.
And it is 10:07. So let's know
are
in
you
the
in
comments.
Agreement with me? And I'd love to see the comments that are in agreement as well. I think that there's obviously 3 options, and I think that we have a good, an okay, and a bad option here.
Good, bad, and ugly.
They're quite obvious. Yeah, good, bad, and ugly. The good being Middlesbrough, as the fact that we're a division above them and we have the superior squad. I'm not saying it would be an easy game.
Muniz redemption.
I do think it is Muniz redemption. I do think it is the easiest of the 3 by a long way.
Absolutely, absolutely.
They are probably thinking the same about us right now. That is no doubt.
Yeah.
Chelsea is the one that I think is okay because they're quite hit and miss. And I just think that the fact of going to Stamford Bridge and hopefully taking the whole end would be fantastic.
Oh, we'd get the whole end, wouldn't we? Yeah.
I am nervous about what would happen if we were to lose that, though. And we play them 3 times in a row with the league game factored in as well, which is making me have a slight head loss before the draws even happened. And then obviously the bad option, Jack, is Liverpool. We cannot look past it, regardless of them having no Mo Salah during the Africa Cup of Nations. let's not beat around the bush. That would be a horrible, horrible draw for us.
And obviously, Matip is the other player who goes on AFCON, but he's still injured anyway, so it wouldn't.
He's injured, yeah.
Different. So, am I right in saying I'm guessing if you're drawn at home first, you are then the home team for the first leg?
I believe so, yeah.
Right. Okay.
And I think we sort of want. I've always of the opinion of you want to be home second.
Yeah.
Second leg at home.
We've always done that in the playoffs, haven't we? Because we've finished third.
The absolute dream scenario here is Borough come out of the hat first and Fulham come out of the hat second.
Yes. Then we're off to Barcuda, which is £2 something a pint, £1 for VKs. I'm sure a lot of the Fulham lot will enjoy that. Chelsea's obviously the derby. I think I was saying it on the radio earlier. The Fulham fans last night were brilliant, and if we can create
great away end,
brilliant away end. Well done, hardcore Fulham going up on a Tuesday night to Goodison Park. Draws at 10:15. If you're not aware, 10:15 is the start time apparently, and then of course Liverpool. We were just there. I mean, we were just there like 24 hours ago. So it'd be kind of a long day to come back. But we can't even go to Arkles because that's the home pub. So I mean that's a real sticking point. So, Joe, I think as you can tell, I think we're both pretty nervous for this because I can't really string a sentence together right now.
I can't help but think back to this time last season.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sorry, it wasn't this time last season, was it? But when we had the draw for the FA Cup quarter-final, and obviously it's far more serious now in terms of we're a round later. This is our first ever League Cup semi-final, Jack, and we are a club that has not won a major trophy.
No. As an Everton fan pointed out to me earlier.
Yeah, well, I hope that makes him feel better today.
What a semi.
Anthony Taylor, we've got a Liverpool fan in the comments. Actually, he's just asking about if we were to get Liverpool, what allocation we would give each other. And it's a very interesting question. From as far as I know, it's a 10% minimum, and it's then up to the clubs to decide what they give each other.
I reckon, knowing Fulham, they'll probably give the whole Putney, and then Liverpool, like tonight, would give Fulham. I don't know if we'd sell out. I suppose we would.
The whole end,
yeah. The whole lower end, the one that's not. I think whatever happens tonight in the next 10, 15 minutes, we have to sort of, obviously, it's not going to take a gloss off the evening, is it? It's not going to take a gloss off what happened last night. We can get into the ins and outs of individual performances. I loved when Marco Silva came over to the fans at the end.
Fantastic.
Tosin, who's obviously, Tosin's been a bit of a weird one where we're not really sure if he wants to be here or not. But, scored the goal against West Ham and gave it big uns, fair enough. And then also scored the winning penalty last night. Cool as a cucumber. And the celebration as well is really funny. Really funny.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, really, really pleased with that. What did you think about Tosin's contributions last night, all round?
He was a monster last night. He won everything in the air because it was an aerial bombardment, particularly in the first half, and he dealt with everything superbly, and no blame can go to him for the goal, in my opinion. Jack, we've got a few comments about atmosphere for the home semi-final because no matter what happens here, no matter who we draw, we've got 2 games. One of them will be at Craven Cottage, 110%. The atmosphere, for a start, I would love, and I tweeted this earlier, the Hammersmith end to be like it was against Derby in the playoffs, where everyone stood for the entire 90. I thought that was fantastic. Yeah. You even got the Putney end chipping in as well. I mean, I don't know if the Putney end will be open, depending on what the allocation is, but it would just be wonderful to have the whole crowd going. And wouldn't it be fantastic if we could open more of the Riverside upper and get the first full house? I don't know if that will be possible. It might be on a one-off occasion, but it'd be great if the club could provide some flags, some scarves, everything, just to give every possible advantage. Because as much as we're sort of saying to Everton, they shouldn't have been playing those music, they're completely in their right to before the penalty shootout. They got the crowd going. They got it worked up. They got the atmosphere against us, and that gave them a better opportunity. I know it didn't work out for them, but it was harder for Fulham in that penalty shootout because of the atmosphere they created. I thought Fulham fans were fantastic. There's just nothing you can do when you're outnumbered by that many, and we made a racket, 100%. and I would love to see Fulham do the same thing. I just really, really hope that the club take advantage of this and
Do the
realise
scarves. People saying do the scarves like Luton,
yeah,
like big occasion. This is
make
big
it a
occasion.
massive occasion. Yeah,
This is playoffs, like semi-final. This
is bigger
is
than that.
Luton Town.
100%.
Oh no, of
Yeah.
course. I'm just like trying to compare to like
Oh, I see. To
previous
previous games.
and then like Luton Town, like where we're really up for it. Even the Palace game last season, last home game of what was an amazing season. You know, we gave their little sachets and like, you know, say what you want about the sachets. I thought they just look good to sort of swing around your head before kickoff. As a Chelsea fan, in the comments, what are your thoughts if we get Chelsea in the draw? I think that's like our second best option, just given the form Chelsea are on, the chances of it being obviously a derby, and it's just heightened. And I feel reason. This is the thing we were talking about this earlier. Me and my brothers, like, imagine going away to Anfield first leg and you're like 3-1 down in the first leg or 3-0 down, having to go back to the sausage or the Caribbean Cottage and just like trying to make some sort of atmosphere. Like, obviously, like, it's hard because you kind of accepted that unless like Barcelona, Liverpool sort of miracles, Ajax, Tottenham sort of miracles happen, you're probably not going to make it to the final. That's why I'd sort of be okay to have it home first. Just because if we're in the tie, then
I see what you mean.
Start from zero. However, you know, Middlesbrough away probably is the best option. We are ball number 2, and they're still not starting. I'm guessing they're going to have a break, and then they're going to start the draw. It will only take a matter of seconds. Remember Juventus? Everyone turned up for Juventus. Everyone was standing. I mean, the European. That was the last time we got to a semi-final in any capacity, wasn't it? Or I suppose playoffs doesn't really count. Joe, a little bit more on last night, maybe. Any particular performances you were impressed with?
Yeah, well, I mean, we've already spoken about Tosin. I thought that Robinson was a bit unfortunate for the goal we conceded, but overall, I thought we had another very impressive performance. And I wanted to give a brief shout out, Jack, to the system that we changed to when Everton equalised, which looked very, very, very defensive. Taking Iwobi off, putting Issa Diop on, and then we also obviously changed Muniz to Vinicius, which was just a like-for-like change. But that formation change to a 5 at the back, suddenly we were completely in control of the tie again, and we were creating chance after chance. And I think it's because, as some people have pointed out, that Robinson and Tete were given license, in particular Robinson, to just bomb down the pitch and overload Everton in those wide areas where they were quite poor defensively. And we nearly nicked it. And it would have been fantastic if we nicked it. I'm actually glad we didn't now, because the penalties were such a momentous sort of like outpouring of emotion by everyone involved with Fulham.
Bobby Reid almost scored the exact same goal he scored.
The exact same goal.
It would have been
in the
exactly the same.
Yeah.
But it was a great block, wasn't it? It was an amazing
wonderful block. I think it was Nathan Patterson who'd actually, I thought, been quite poor defensively, and then he really sort of made up for all of that.
But it's worth mentioning that Danjuma obviously came close with that volley. I think he probably should have hit the target. If he hit the target, he probably would have scored. Harrison came close as well. Fulham didn't have loads of chances in the game, did we? Didn't have absolutely loads of chances.
We didn't, but they didn't have many clear-cut chances, which I was delighted, because the way that Everton have been playing recently, and I was being taken to the pub in a taxi by an Everton fan who was a season ticket holder and was going to the game. And he basically was telling me that he's not worried at all about Fulham having all the possession, because he thinks that that's how Everton perform best, is when the other team has a possession, Everton play on the break, and they've been creating some really, really dangerous chances, almost like they did to us opening day, Jack, where we had slightly more of the ball.
I thought we had more control in this game than we did the opening day.
100%. 100%.
Are we getting started? I think they'll have they're still showing, because I suppose Liverpool scored so many goals, they've got to still rattle through them.
Yeah.
There's a comment here that was worth bringing up. So if we got Chelsea, then we'd have to play Chelsea in the cup, in the league, and in the cup again. I don't actually know if that's going to be back to back to back, but it might
is, because we've got the winter/international break. So it will be back to back to back. And tell you what, like I said about Newcastle, Jack, I would lose 400-0 in the league game if it meant we got to Wembley. 100%.
Honestly, I can't really think straight, because it's so.
It's hard. There's so many
a big
ideas going through my head.
Yeah, so many scenarios. Obviously, it's just going to be huge. Biggest Fulham fan from Norway here. How would I get tickets to the final? Well, hold on. Let's just get there first.
Let's try and get there first.
I
Yeah.
remember obviously booking tickets for the White Wall, Wembley. Okay, they're doing a break, and then the draw is next. It's after the break. There's Fulham celebrating. There's Marco Silva celebrating. But yeah, getting tickets for Wembley for the playoff final was very stressful. I think I had to book. I think I was booking like 10 or 11 people's tickets, and then we got it in 2 different rows, and it worked out in the end. It was very, very nice. But
yeah,
do we talk about Burnley? I don't we talk about Burnley until after the draw, surely.
I can't even think about Burnley, but what I do know is that we need to be giving those players a wonderful reception on Saturday.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And Marco Silva and all the coaching staff, because the way that they have got us united in a season that started with so much uncertainty and chaos and negativity, let's face it, is wonderful. And we're now in our first League Cup semi-final ever. You have to, we're reasonably young Fulham fans, Jack. We appreciate that we were too young for a lot of events that other fans remember. We have to appreciate that we're very lucky right now. There's some Fulham fans that passed away without ever seeing this. We are very, very lucky, and we need to make the most of it. And regardless of who we draw now, when they come back after the break and pull the balls out, God. It is going to be a momentous occasion, home and away. We'll sell out all of it, and it's going to be a fantastic atmosphere. And, bring it on, because it's going to be so much fun.
There was a lot of young Fulham fans at the game last night. There's like a new sort of breed of young fans going to a lot of games, and I have to applaud them for the noise that we made as a collective, the dedication to go up in December near Christmas. You're watching the pennies, and obviously it was worth every penny going up there. 422 people in the stream watching.
Wow.
That's like deadline day sort of numbers. This is a big deal. So we appreciate everyone in here. There's actually a few like Borough fans in here I've been seeing. A couple of Watford fans I've seen. A Watford fan in here.
Fantastic.
Not many Everton. I'm not sure if they'll be here. A couple of Chelsea fans. So everyone's invested, obviously, in this draw. I'm disappointed in West Ham tonight. I really thought they'd give it a bit more of a go against Liverpool. Actually, quite sad. Well, I'm not obviously because of what happened last night. I'm not going to be at the game on Saturday. I'm at West Ham, Manchester United instead, which I'm not going to complain about. It's a terrific fixture to be at, but hopefully the atmosphere is really good, and we'll talk more about Burnley after the draw, or maybe we won't, because our heads will be on Mars when we get Liverpool, or back down to earth if we get Middlesbrough. Joe, I'm guessing the draw's going to start in the next 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes.
Yeah, we've got a few people asking where to watch the draw. The draw's live on Sky Sports. They normally also stream it on YouTube.
Yeah.
So I've got double
stream up.
Jack Kelly's my eyes and ears here. Yeah, we've had a couple of other comments. We've got hello from the German Fulham supporters from Mark. Hello, that's wonderful to see you here. We've got a message from Paul Fisher as well that's asking, if Fulham played Liverpool in the final and lost, would Fulham play in Europe? Obviously, that's assuming that Liverpool get in the Champions League. So I thought this, but the rules are different for the Carabao Cup and FA Cup, so it's actually not the case, unfortunately. So if we were to be the runners-up in the FA Cup, and let's say Manchester City were to beat us and got the Champions League place, then we would get an automatic Europe place, but that is not the same in the Carabao, unfortunately. We've got FFC Belgium as well. Oh, wonderful. And we've got Canada.
There's so many. Australia,
worldwide fans, North Carolina. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic.
This is really exciting. Everyone's tuned into the draw.
And I'm
Sky now showing their own highlights now, so they've got to be back anytime.
Bricking it, mate. I do not like this at all.
I'm so nervous. Honestly, I should just watch the darts instead and just have a little look on our phones as to who we got. It's huge because we're in new territory, new mold.
New Malden, massive respect. Fulham, Croatia, Arizona, Sierra Leone.
No, there's no way this is happening.
This must
be like some sort
Norway,
of
Cleveland, Ohio, Kentucky, Sweden. Just Surrey. Never say just Surrey. Surrey's fantastic. India, Kentucky again. Fantastic.
Yeah, Kenzo the bully. I appreciate you being here, but spam of this, whatever you're saying in the chat. Like, let's just keep it purely football based. Oh, they're interviewing Jurgen Klopp now. They haven't done post match. This is going to be a long wait. North Korea.
Well, we're
Brilliant.
getting a few where I don't think people are actually from, but
Antarctica.
Wonderful.
It's getting out of hand.
It's getting out of hand, but I love it.
Joe, we're like a few days away from Christmas Day.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's a good time to be a football fan because there's lots of football. Burnley coming up, Bournemouth coming up, Arsenal coming up. And then we go into a slightly what I thought was going to be quiet January football-wise for Fulham, but now we've got an extra 2 fixtures, and we've got the window. It's maybe worth mentioning that Andre is looking more and more likely by the minute.
And just think, Jack, the two legs of this semi-final will be taking place during the January transfer window. We could have already made some moves by then. We could have players playing for us that currently don't reside in Fulham. It could be incredible. I like that João Palhinha has basically hinted that he is going to be involved, which is a relief. I do hope that
say that again. Sorry,
João Palhinha on his Instagram post was just like bring on the semi-finals, like just tongue in cheek.
Imagine if he left, and we were left with not him in the semi-finals.
Goodness me, we would be finito, my friend.
This is great.
This is
great. I'm glad that everyone's here and we're sort of enjoying the draw together. As how it's,
my head's gone. My head's gone.
Really,
the thought of Anfield in a semi-final. Yeah. Although remember, I know they didn't go on to win it, but Southampton a few years ago they got Liverpool over 2 legs and they won both. My old friend Shane Long scored at Anfield.
Yes, and then they went on to lose the final against United. Zlatan Ibrahimovic scoring a late header. I seem to remember.
Yeah,
that was But this is what I was talking about earlier with someone on the radio earlier, that clubs like Fulham, like Southampton, like Everton, like, I don't want to be disrespectful, but like clubs at this level, Carabao Cup is something to take so seriously. And we were lucky enough to draw a Spurs team who, by the way, should have taken it seriously because they don't have European football, but we caught them out on the night. They had a slightly weakened team and we beat them on penalties. So fair enough, maybe it was a draw on the night, but I think we probably deserve to win the 90.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
But this is why it's such a big deal, because the FA Cup is the FA Cup. Some team based on the draw. I don't know, but you do see teams. Everton got to a semi-final in recent years. You see a lot of teams get to semi-finals of FA Cups. But the Carabao Cup is like that sort of minnow competition that the top 6 don't really take that seriously, but still end up winning because they've just got the quality.
Yeah.
So the fact we're here now in a Final Four, it is a little bit bittersweet that we're going to have to basically we're guaranteed to face one of. Are we guaranteed to face one of Chelsea or Liverpool?
If we are to win this cup, we have to play one of Chelsea and Liverpool and beat them.
I think the ideal scenario would be to obviously play Middlesbrough over 2 and then have Chelsea in the final, because over a one-off game against Chelsea, I'd fancy us. And then could you imagine, how they've said, Fulham have never done anything against Chelsea. If we were to beat them in a final or even a semi-final over 2 legs, it would just raise the stakes a little bit and maybe reignite a little bit from the Chelsea end that sort of rivalry, of course, that they don't seem to feel the same way about us.
A great point from Anthony there, who I presume is a Liverpool fan. We played well against Liverpool in recent times.
Last 2 times, yeah, definitely.
And even I think beyond that, Jack, I think that the 2 games in lockdown, I think of the game last season where we lost because of that quite dodgy penalty shout, which otherwise had been a 0-0 game. Even going further back than that, in 18-19, we were crap. We still gave them 2 very good games. We 100% can challenge them. We just should look at the fact that it is the hardest out of the 3 potential ties for the semi-final, just due to squad quality. But we can take on anyone on our day. Everton had won their last 4 in a row without conceding a goal, beating some decent sides along the way. And we played well. We defended very well. I know a lot of people say, we were a bit defensive. We're playing against a good team away from home. And thank God we were defensive, because we stayed in the game and we won it. I can see someone saying draw time. Is that correct?
Oh, yeah. They haven't started yet, but they're just going through the results of the draw. Obviously, Middlesbrough were beating Port Vale 3-0. Bit of a shame that Port Vale didn't. Well, to be fair, I watched one of the first goals was quite lucky. It deflected over the keeper. This is it. Jamie Redknapp and Harry Redknapp. I can't believe you're not watching it. I mean, are you okay?
Nah, head loss.
This is pretty big. Both brothers have leant forward like they're 2-0 down at FIFA and need to win their last FUT Champs game. Chelsea, ball number 1. Fulham, ball number 2. Borough, ball number 3. Liverpool, ball number 4. There's a lot of heads in hands right now at just the prospect of what it could be.
You've gone on mute, mate.
My mic got unplugged. I'm so sorry.
No worries, mate.
Right. Sorry, I'm back. Mic was unplugged. Here we go.
Okay.
Borough are at home. Borough are at home. This is it. Was it? What ball are we? Two.
This is it. Please, show us 2.
What is it?
No.
Number 1.
Oh, we got Liverpool.
We got Liverpool.
Oh,
Me.
Fuck's sake.
That is so bad.
I bet we're home as well first.
We're away first.
That's good. That's good.
I think that might be the worst possible draw. Joe.
that's gutting that. But you know what? They won't have Salah. We played well against them a few weeks ago. Anything can happen. But I've got to say, I am gutted.
Of course.
I can't believe it.
I'm absolutely gutted.
Because basically, if you weren't watching, I don't think Harry Redknapp like showed the ball. He like put it down on the plinth or whatever it was, the stand, and like you couldn't make it out to what it was. So yeah. Look, it was a 1 in 3 chance. It was a 1 in 3 chance. Oh, fucking hell. I'm so gutted. Because we were just there. We literally were just there.
I don't want to go back. And I like Liverpool as a city, but I don't want to go back.
Look, we play like we did at Anfield. We just hold them. We've got to hold them and get a result at Anfield. Then we go back to the Craven Cottage. You just never know. It's really, really, really tough. And Middlesbrough get Chelsea, which is really infuriating.
But you know what, Jack? What we just said before, we're here because we want to win a trophy. And if we want to win a trophy, we had to beat either Liverpool or Chelsea. We had to. There's no other situation where we can win this cup.
It feels like we've made no progress because we're going back to the same place where we just won to get to it. But it's 2 legs. And I think we've got to be so careful with that first leg.
Yeah.
Because you've got to be conservative. We
beat
Juventus. Beat Juventus, yeah.
in the away game, you have to be defensive minded. You have to get through.
Suspicious draw, huge delay, rigged. It can't be. It's 4 balls. I mean, it's 4 balls. Matthew, how you feeling? Gutted.
It's one of them things you knew it was going to happen.
But
you thought
it's the hope that kills you.
It might not happen. You know what I mean?
I don't really have the energy to talk about Burnley, but I feel like maybe just give a lineup and a score prediction and we'll call it quits and we'll go to bed quite sad.
Okay. Leno, Castagna back in just because Tete, I don't want him to play 180 minutes in a week. Tosin, Bassi, Robinson, Palhinha, Kearney, Pereira, Iwobi on the right-hand side as he had been. He was better out there than in the middle. Willian on the left and Muniz up front. And I'm being deadly serious when I say this right now. 5-0 Fulham.
Again.
I am being deadly serious. 5-0 Fulham.
That's really funny.
Don't rate them. And I'm a bit fired up now because I'm a bit pissed off about that draw. 5-0.
My Liverpool mate I went to uni with has just messaged me saying loved the draw. I bet he did. Cameron, if you're watching, good luck. Good luck. I honestly, I didn't really listen to your team. My head was on Saturn.
The team is the same as last night, apart from Kearney, Pereira, Starr, and Castagna.
For the sake of just Yeah, Castagna comes back in for me. So who starts? So Bassi and Tosin, Robinson. Yeah, I'd start Kenny, Polinia, Pereira, and then Iwobi, maybe Wilson, because Willian's been a little bit injury prone of late, and then go with Muniz up front. I'm not going to be as ambitious as you. I'm going to go 2-1 Fulham, and let's just hope we get 3 points, guys. Strip it back. We made to a semi for the first time in our history of the Carabao Cup. We are mid-table in the Premier League. We could pull off a shock of all shocks and get to Wembley. And wouldn't it be great if Borough did the same? We get Borough in the final. Yeah. It could happen. Like stranger things have happened, and Fulham are actually like good at football. So there's no reason not to be positive.
And you know what? Yeah, I agree with David in the comments there. Like, it's going to be a fantastic occasion in both games. We'll get the Anfield Road lower. We'll sell it out with real Fulham fans this time. None of that crap that was in the league game a few weeks ago.
At the home game, we've got to do this. We cannot be selling to Liverpool fans. It's too big a fixture.
110%. It has to be completely filled with Fulham. And I'm expecting the Fulham Supporters Trust to be hot on this. They have to be. It's unacceptable if they're not. We can take on anyone. We will be playing a Liverpool side without their best player twice.
Yeah, Mo Salah.
Mo Salah is not playing for them. Come on, you Egypt, in the Africa Cup of Nations. Get to that final, lads, and knock out Nigeria on the way so we get some of our players back.
Yeah,
as well.
Bassi and Iwobi. Joe, I can't believe it.
Look,
I'm actually
Jack,
really upset.
I was really annoyed a few seconds ago, and now I've thought we had to beat one of them. Let's go and beat them. We can do it. 100% we can do it.
Okay, I mean, you have to play them, don't you? I mean, it's like when we got it's basically like when we got United, we got the hardest draw, didn't we? I think Man City.
Yeah.
Was still
other than City, yeah.
Yeah, but so it was like a Chelsea Liverpool situation. We got Liverpool. Now I'm annoyed. Now I'm even more annoyed at West Ham for not really going for it tonight. I'm sure they actually went for it. I don't mean any disrespect to David Moyes or West Ham, but like, West Ham have been brilliant this season against big teams, and I was expecting a bit more of a performance. But Liverpool are second in the Premier League. They're in a title race. They'll obviously want to win this, but this is a bad time to play them. They're really up for it. Szoboszlai, like even tonight, like Szoboszlai, Elliott, Jones, and then you got like Gravenberch. I mean, some McAllister, like some really good players. That's just the midfield I'm talking about. And we'll be in January. Get Andre in January 1st, and we have a little double pivot of this player that we've never seen play in our lives before with João Palhinha.
And a call for anyone watching: get yourself to Anfield if you can. Book the time off work if you can.
Yeah,
let's get one of the best away ends that we've ever had, with about 6,000 Fulham fans all travelling up north for a historic day. And then, like someone has said, if we're still in the game, what an atmosphere that'll be at Craven Cottage. It doesn't have to be that we're 3-0 up after the first leg. It could just be that we're only down by a goal or we're going in level. But what an atmosphere that will be. And we know that we can beat Liverpool at Craven Cottage. We have done it time and time again, and we can do it again.
I suppose we have. We beat them in 06, 07. Oh, no, of course we beat them on Halloween and 2009, 2010, 2010, I think. Yeah, I mean, look, it was a 33% chance, which is a high chance. Look, enjoy. Don't let this ruin your Christmas. Enjoy your Christmas. Enjoy Burnley. Get behind the boys. Give them a good reception, because they put in a massive effort last night and deserved to come away with the victory, in my opinion. Joe, let's wrap it up there. Final thoughts?
Final thoughts are bring it on, because we had to play someone and we've got Liverpool. Let's deal with it. Let's take them on. And we got very unlucky there a couple of weeks ago. We showed that on our day, we can 100% match them in terms of play. That was when they had their best player, who they will be without. They scored wonder goals that day. I think we've got a good chance, Jack. I've got to be completely honest with you.
Jimenez will be back.
Great.
Someone just put it in the comments, sorry. Also, last question. Will there be VAR?
That's a very good question, and I do not know the answer, because I thought there was going to be VAR last night and there wasn't.
No. And that is it, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Your support for the channel and this video alone has been nothing short of incredible. We're actually really near to 6,000 subscribers. It's not like massive numbers or anything in terms of subscribers, but for the viewership, it's really good stuff. So if you're not subscribed, and any fans who are not supported of Fulham enjoyed the stream tonight, this is sort of what we do. Jack and Joe show every week, and we have other reaction videos. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel and share with your friends, that'd be very much appreciated. And everyone here has been pretty civil. Everyone's enjoyed the stream. Everyone's sort of interacted with each other. I've been seeing on the chat. So it's really good to see. We're creating a really nice community here. We've always had a nice community here at Fulhamish, but I don't know, this season's felt really nice, actually. VR is back for the semis, according to Lee Warner. I will take your source and run with it. Thanks very much, Lee. That is very reassuring to know. Oh, Harry Redknapp, you're not in my good books. Right. Thanks so much for watching, Joe. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks, Jack. Thanks, everyone, for watching. And you know what? The ticket news will come out soon.
Yeah.
Get yourself to Anfield. Get yourself to Craven Cottage. And let's give it our best, because we're in a semi-final. Bring it on.
Let's hope the club do a good job in terms of pricing the tickets. Let's make it reasonable. Let's make it so that it's tempting to go. Oh, wait, everyone's saying Carvalho in January. That would be scenes. Carvalho,
he wouldn't be able to play, though.
No, but if we signed him permanently.
Oh, if we signed him permanently, yes.
Back.
Yeah.
Could you imagine Andre, Paulinho, Carvalho? I'm getting
sensational.
So right, let's end it there. It's time for bed. And I need to calm down because my head is hot. And I'm sure yours is too, Joe.
Always is, mate.
Take care, guys. Thanks so much for watching. And
thanks, everyone.
Come on, Fulham.